Hey everybody, Speed Duel Bro here, back at it again. And in today's video, we have simply Jinzo. Let's get right to it. For the skill card, we have It's Jinzo. Then for monsters, we have 3 Breakers, 2 Old Vindictive Magicians, 1 Blowback Dragon, and 3 Jinzos. For spells, we have 3 Allure of Darkness, 2 Soul Exchange, 2 Book of Moons. For traps, we have 2 Zomas and 2 Widespread Ruins. Alright everyone, now on to how to win with the deck / strategies. Now before we continue, let's peep the skill card It's Jinzo. What it reads here is, Jinzo monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's skill cards. Once per turn, during your main phase, if you control Jinzo, you can look at one face-down card in your opponent's spell and trap zones, and if it is a trap, draw 1 card. And then at the back, don't forget, at the start of the duel, flip this card over. Now, with the skill card being the way it is, as you can guess, the win condition will be Jinzo. Now the reason being is because if we get Jinzo out, we'll be immune to skill cards like Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, Twisted Personality, and Inner Conflict. If anyone still plays that, probably not. But yeah, I dare say that Great Moth would probably be our best matchup because they can't use their Cocoon skill on us. And now that it's been emphasized that Jinzo is the main win condition, take a good look at the deck, guys. The deck has been built so that we can handle most situations. So we can either set, we can go on the offensive, we can tribute the opponent's monster, meaning we tribute their resource, and then we have the extra oomph and protection. And we also have the main draw engine here to help us get faster to our resources. So meaning we're gonna have to play skillfully we're going to have to adjust according to how our opponent's playing. And allow me to show you what I mean by playing skillfully and adjusting to our opponent accordingly. So let's say, for example, we have Allure of Darkness, Breaker, Old Vindictive in our opening hand, right? So once I activate Allure, me personally, I'm gonna banish the Breaker. And the reason why is because I don't want to reveal to the opponent that I'm playing something like this. Because if once they see this, the surprise is gone. So I'd rather just set this comfortably on the field, make them guess like what could he be playing face down. And also, as far as I remember, Jinzo's the only one that's unaffected by skill cards. So if we were to play against a Moth deck, we want to keep our monsters face down because they get to Moth by equipping Parasite Paranoid. I know this is common 101 knowledge, but you know, just for the newer players, okay? Stick with me, alright? So with that being said, another asset that I see to this deck is that we can keep the opponent guessing with all these back rows, because no one is gonna expect in a Jinzo deck that we play 4 traps. That's kind of excessive, okay? Even by my standard. But here's the thing. We anticipate that Jinzo is gonna get messed up on the field. When I say that, we're gonna run into Book of Moons, they're gonna Book of Moon our Jinzo, they're gonna summon a stronger monster, or they're just gonna use an effect monster too to destroy our Jinzo. So that's why the Widespread Ruin's there, because if Jinzo gets Book of Moon, we can protect it. And then Zoma, obviously Zoma is too good to not run in any deck nowadays, so it's an offensive muscle, it's tribute fodder. Worst case scenario, it's life point damage. You just crash your Zoma into the opponent's monster. And then we also have the Soul Exchange to somewhat wipe the opponent's board off, just a little bit. But anticipate, guys, that Soul Exchange, when you use it, they're probably going to use Book of Moon on their monster, so you won't be able to tribute the opponent's monster anymore. But again, we anticipate that, hence why we have the Zoma for tribute fodder. So you see where I'm going with this, everyone? We flow and adapt to the state of the dual field, if dual field's a word. But yeah, that's how you win with this deck. We have to be discreet, we have to be skillful. We can't just show all our tactics right away. And if this deck is equipped with the proper side deck, which is another asset of this deck, another strength of this deck, oh, I believe we can win some matches. So for example, our side deck can consist of Nobleman of Crossout, because once Jinzo's out, our opponent will most likely resort to a face down effect monster to destroy our Jinzo. And then for other side deck recommendations, just side in some other general staple side deck cards like an extra Book of Moon or a Zoma. Again, it depends on your meta or who you're playing with. So yeah, the greatest strength of this deck is that it's highly versatile and very adaptable. Now on to card analysis. The skill card is Jinzo, because it makes us immune to Cocoon of Ultra Evolution, Twisted Personality, and Inner Conflict, if anyone plays that again. And before I forget everyone, the skill card It's Jinzo does have that second effect, which is once per turn during your main phase, if you control Jinzo, you can look at one face down card in your opponent's spell and trap zones. And if it is a trap, draw one card. Now realistically, we're probably not gonna be able to get the second skill off, or the second part of the skill off, meaning if it's a trap card, draw one card. Very unlikely, but it is nice that we'll be able to see what the face down is. So it's nice to get some intel on the opponent. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Don't forget about the second part of the skill, okay? And then we play Breaker, because Breaker right now, it's a staple. And for the newer players, staple means you have to play this card because it's just that good in every deck. Because Breaker is a 1900 beater with back row removal. A lot of bang for your buck, so to say. And then we play Old Vindictive because I like the element of surprise of setting a monster down and making my opponent guess. But not only that, if our opponent gets rid of our Jinzos, we need a backup plan. So Old Vindictive will destroy the opponent's monsters for us. And then Blowback Dragon, because it's a personal tech choice. Why not take a chance and get free destruction, you know? That's what makes it fun. And then Jinzo, the main boss monster of the deck, the all-powerful effect of negating traps and saying no to traps. Still fairly relevant because of Zoma, and I guess Nightmare Wheel. But yeah, Jinzo's the name of the game. And then Allure of Darkness, because it's the draw engine of the deck. It will help us speed up the deck and help us get to our resources much faster. And then Soul Exchange, because we run tribute monsters, and the fact that we can potentially minus the opponent's board a little bit always helps, right? Now this card, it's up to you if you want to play 2 or 3, but for me in my play testing, I felt that 3 was just a little too much, too clunky, because you're not always going to have the ideal ratio or the ideal hand, meaning you're not always going to have Soul Exchange and a tribute monster. 2 was just right. I swapped out that third one for that second Zoma, and it's worked out so much better. But again, just my personal preference, it's up to you how you want to play. And then Book of Moon, it's pretty self-explanatory. It can be used for offense or defense or stunning the opponent. Very versatile card, which is also strength of this deck, its versatility. And then Zoma, because Zoma is too good. Offensive beat stick, tribute fodder, and some burn damage if it crashes into the opponent or the opponent attacks it. And then Widespread Ruin, which is, I would consider, the spicy tech of this deck, because again, in a Jinzo deck, the opponent's not gonna think that we're running this many traps. But again, we anticipate that the opponent is gonna mess up our Jinzo. That's why we run this small amount of protection. So where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is at least semi-competitive. The reason I say that is because, again, this deck is highly versatile, highly adaptable. It's been equipped to handle most situations, and if you have a good enough side deck, I truly believe we can win some matches with this deck. And who knows, what if you keep running into Great Moth in your tournament or competition with friends? The skill card, It's Jinzo. This is basically auto win against it, right? But yeah, that's the deck, everyone. Give it a try. You may like it, and you may be pleasantly surprised. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button. Helps me out a lot. And if you enjoyed me, the Speed Duel bro, you're more than welcome to subscribe. Because if you love speed duels, I'm sure you'll love me too. And always remember, everyone, no matter what deck I build, I always play to win. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.